Hey, tough and the out of this world story from Street Travel. There are ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back in Street Travel. I am your host Manir.
I, 28, female, just found out that the babysitter was breastfeeding my son without my consent. I am a 28 female single working mom. I remained pregnant in a previous relationship with my ex and decided to carry on the pregnancy since I was very excited to become a mom. I was able to get a 12-week unpaid maternity leave from work, and after that, since I live far away from my family and had no one who could help me, I started looking for a babysitter, and fortunately enough, in no time I found a fellow 32 female mom who agreed to come to my house to watch and take care of my newborn 5 days a week for 9 hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. She was super nice and bonded with my child pretty easily, and since she seemed very skilled, I was very serene. I didn't give her many rules to follow other than to give me a summary of everything that happened during my work shifts at home and that she isn't allowed in my bedroom. Before going to work, I always made sure to leave all the necessary things like diapers, pacifiers, his favorite plushie, etc. on the table. Also, leaving the milk I pumped in baby bottles inside the fridge, which she was instructed to use. The first 2 months went absolutely great with no issues whatsoever. When I came home, she would summarize everything that happened or that she did, and I always found everything in perfect order plus used baby bottles. So she was following the indications I gave her. However, some strange things started happening during my newborn's 6th month. He started refusing my breasts altogether, refusing to latch on, and after a while of me gently trying, he would start to get annoyed. But he accepted the baby bottle with my milk just fine. After talking with the babysitter, who was a mother before me, and doing some research, I concluded that it could have been something related to the fact that he got more used to the baby bottle, or to the fact that I may have a different smell. It was a very stressful period, so it could have been. Either way, I didn't think too much of it since he was still getting fed until it became impossible for me to keep pumping because I wasn't producing enough milk anymore. So, I decided to switch to the formula and gave instructions to her like usual. Also, I decided to start weaning my child, and I asked her to introduce some solid foods too. However, after 2 months, in his 8th month, I started to feel like something wasn't adding up. In 2 days, it seemed like I was using way more formula than she was in 5 days. So I confronted her about it and asked her if she was using the formula, and she confirmed. I then thought it was my impression, even because the baby had never complained. However, something was still troubling me. So, the next day, I had my GoPro in my living room and an old phone recording in the kitchen just to make sure. And when I came back and watched the recordings, everything started to make sense. I was horrified. After I went away, she took my baby, sat on the sofa and started breastfeeding him. Not once but thrice, for a lot of time. I was shocked. My baby was latching onto another woman's breast after he refused mine. And now it started to make sense why. But not only that, she never went to the kitchen to get formula or to get some solid food for the baby, but only to cook for herself. And while she was eating, she was still breastfeeding my baby, keeping him with only one hand under the butt. But the worst is, she was trying to get herself to be called mama by my newborn. She sat him on her legs and started saying things like, "Say mama," and "Who am I? Mama." And my son uttered it, and she replied back with, "That's my good boy," and kissed him. After that, I was trying to get myself not to puke. I was heartbroken, and I felt like I trusted the worst woman I could ever trust. After that, I immediately called her and confronted her at my house. I told her I knew everything and I showed her the videos. Her response was that my son needed a real mother in his life, not a mother available only 2 days a week. And also that she was not going to feed formula to a baby or frozen milk, but that she was only going to feed him with real milk, admitting that she had done it since day one. I will not report the entire discussion because after that, I was not polite at all. Needless to say, I fired her immediately. Not only did she breastfeed my son without my consent, but she was even trying to replace me. I'm horrified and broken. Right now, I took a week off of work. I need to process everything that happened, and also, I need to reconnect with my son. I feel like our family was violated. I just needed to vent. Thank you for reading. For the opinion. Whoa, OP, that's some hand that rocks the cradle kinda crap. This is crazy. You need to go to the police and report this. There's a lot of things that you said that are troubling. For example, you said in the post that she had just become a mother, which is backed by the fact that she is still producing milk. However, she spends every weekday from 9 to 5 with your baby. So the question is she still breastfeeding a toddler? Or where is her baby? Now add this to the fact that she is trying to get your baby to identify her as mama, and that she says that your boy needs a real mom instead of a working mom. I get the impression that this is a kidnapping waiting to happen. I don't know if she recently became a mom and unfortunately lost her baby and went nuts and is now trying to steal some other woman's baby. But you need to protect your baby. Oh, honestly, this situation is just very unnerving. Now for the comments. Technical Pumpkin 65 says, take time with your baby, but you shouldn't minimize the situation. You need to contact a doctor in case she can give him something through the milk. Also, you should contact the police. She is crazy and could do that to others, so press charges now. Reddit Rabbit 13 says, I'm so horrified and disgusted. Is it possible to get a restraining order or similar? I worry she wants to kidnap your child. OP, you're awesome for having the child as a single mom and showing your child how the bills get paid. You're amazing. RareAd 1572 says, I don't know what the police would do in this situation, but I think you should get the police involved and also get your baby tested for things. That would freak me out because breast milk can carry all sorts of diseases because it's literally body fluid. I would seriously press charges or sue. That's some type of assault. Willing 7785 says, far out, your family was violated. This woman sounds deranged. She literally tried to make your baby think she was his mother. That's insane. Thank God you discovered this madness before she took off with your son, never to be seen again. No wonder you're shaken up. This is disturbing on so many levels. I know wet nursing is a thing, but it's really unnerving that she breastfed your son behind your back. I feel for you big time. I'm really angry on your behalf. Who does this woman think she is taking liberties like that? OP's at it. It's very hard for me to reply back to every single comment, so I'm going to use this edit as clarification. First of all, she isn't a local. I live in the countryside, so we don't have many services, like agencies or stuff. I tried posting on some Facebook groups and left my phone number. After probably half an hour, she reached out to me, first asking me for a photo and description of my child since she wanted to know how he was, and then asked me where I lived. And we found out that we lived like 40 minutes away from each other by car. It seemed too much for me, but she still agreed wholeheartedly to take care of my child. I forgot to mention that she admitted to pouring my bottled breast milk down the sink so that it seemed like she used it. I pumped for only God knows how long before work just to make her trash it. She had the keys to my house for every eventuality, but I recollected them back before firing her. But I will still change the locks as someone suggested. I'd like to go to sleep, wake up and think that all this was just a bad dream. Unfortunately, it isn't. Alright, well, the community gave OP some pretty solid advice and apparently OP is taking some action. But in my opinion, I would grab my kid and go stay with some friends or something until I find a new place because this is crazy. Update. First of all, I got my baby checked straight away, and nothing seems out of place. I'm so relieved, but I'll still wait for a more in-depth analysis since I'm still worried a little bit. Also, it seems like she entered my bedroom. I always made sure to lock the door since there is a safe and I have valuables inside, but sometimes I forgot about it, like the last day, since I was so caught up trying to set up the cameras. I found some blonde hair on my sheets and found some way less of them also on the shower drain of my personal bathroom, which you can't access outside my bedroom. So I guess she showered and even guessed she used my towels since I didn't find new ones in the bathroom or in the laundry. And she clearly didn't take towels from her home since she never asked me to shower at my house, which I would have agreed to without an issue. Moreover, it seems like I'm missing a pair of bras and slips, and I really hope she didn't put her hands in my drawer and use them as a change of clothes, even though she has probably 2 cups more than me and she has bigger hips. I really hope to find them in my laundry chest. I also have a feeling that she took my newborn outside multiple times. When I became pregnant, I bought a stroller and a baby carrier because I thought I needed them both. But when I went out, I always used the stroller since it was more comfortable for me. I never opened the baby carrier and left it in the box in the guest room behind the door when opened. I was making sure everything was all right since I understood I couldn't trust her anymore in anything at all. And when I checked the guest room, I found the baby carrier unpacked and unwrapped inside the box. I could tell it was used, since being white, it was a bit dirty on the shoulders and it smelled a bit. I don't know if she used it inside the house, but I don't think so since I never saw her wearing it and she never mentioned it to me. And also, I never mentioned its existence to her. I only have 2 neighbors near me. I tried talking to them, but they were of no help. I really hope she didn't take my baby outside, and I hope she didn't take him on road trips with the car or stuff. That's because I remember her having a baby seat in her car, even if she said that her daughter was now 7. So she wouldn't have needed such a small one. But at the time, I didn't connect the 2 things. I don't know what to feel. I now realize that 9 hours every day, 5 days a week, she could have possibly done everything. I don't know how it works in my country for that kind of thing. But I'm currently talking to a lawyer to understand if I can press charges and how to do that. I hope for the best. In the meantime, I asked my mom for help and she is currently coming to stay for some time to help me and help take care of him. I wasn't at ease hiring another babysitter. My baby still doesn't want to latch on and I can feel that he isn't that much at ease with me. I tried making him utter the same things she did but couldn't. He doesn't want to. I managed to make him latch only once when he was very sleepy for a short time, but still it was something. Fortunately, he takes up the formula just fine. I will work through it to reconnect with my child and to hopefully overcome this bad event. Thank you very much for your support, comments, and advice. Final update. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who expressed support. It meant a lot and helped with this more than surreal situation. In the last 20 days, a lot has happened and I would like to give an update on the situation. Also, because it took a heavy toll on me and I needed to vent a little. First off, my baby is completely okay. Even after more in-depth analysis, nothing showed up. This relieved me a lot, but unfortunately, that is the only good news. I talked to a lawyer and contacted the police, but unfortunately, in my country, there are no laws against breastfeeding someone else's child without consent. They could have done something if she had knowingly transmitted a disease to him through the milk. And if I could demonstrate that he didn't have the disease before hiring her. Nor can it be classified as assault because, of course, my baby can't testify against the babysitter. I showed them the tapes, but they are of no use since my baby gladly latched onto her and she didn't force him. So I have my hands tied and I can't do anything about it. It's so frustrating since she violated my family and my baby and there's literally nothing I can do. I'm still talking to my lawyer to see if I can sue her or something, but it's really complicated and the chances are very, very low. I was able to talk to her one more time on the phone since I needed to know what else she did with my baby and to see if my speculations were correct, and indeed they were worse than I expected. She confirmed basically everything. She did take my son outside multiple times using the baby carrier or the stroller nearly once a day, and she also admitted breastfeeding him outside quite frequently. If that wasn't enough, she also confirmed taking my baby for road trips with the car when she needed to run errands or do stuff that she didn't clarify, and that it did happen more than a dozen times, but she doesn't remember her words. I said that she shouldn't have done that, and she replied that there's nothing wrong with it, and that my baby liked her driving a lot. She also admitted passing my baby as hers when she was outside, justifying it by saying that sometimes she would talk to other mothers and it was simpler this way. This really made me shiver with rage. She also confirmed going into my room to shower and using my bed to rest with the baby because she felt dizzy. When I confronted her by remembering that she didn't remember and that it was no big deal since nothing happened. Regarding that, I asked her if she took a pair of bras and slips from me, and she also confirmed that, but saying that she had borrowed them while waiting for hers to dry, and after that, she put them in the laundry chest. Note, I never found them. Either something happened or she stole them from me. I don't know what to think. I finally asked her why she did those things to my baby, and she said that a son like mine needed a mother, a real, caring mother, like her in his life, and that a mother who works nearly all week is not good enough, and that I would never be enough for him. I was going crazy, but I decided to end the conversation with her there because shouting was not going to solve anything. I was disgusted by all and left the call worse than how I started it. And there's literally nothing I can do against her for what she did. I tried informing other mothers on Facebook about what she did, but my post got taken down for defamation and hate speech. Unfortunately, I can't file for a restraining order. I don't have the grounds for it. I'm considering moving away. but economically and job-wise, it's really hard. But I'm scared she might try something to get to my baby since he's still very attached to her. So I'm really considering it, even if I don't know if I can. Still, my mother is still helping me watch after my son while I work and things are slowly getting back to normal. But I can't erase this sense of powerlessness. I think I will go to therapy once things get better. My son still doesn't seem much at ease with me, but I'm trying my best to recover our bond. He still doesn't want to latch to my breast, not even a bit. This hurts me a lot, but I know I need to be strong for him too. Thank you very much for reading my venting, and I really hope nothing like this happens to any of my fellow mothers out there. OOP, I am so sorry this is the way that things are going. And it's CKS that your posts got taken down for defamation and hate speech. How is that hate speech? You're warning other people about some crazy lady trying to steal your baby. And I know she didn't actually try to steal the baby, but it sure seemed like that's the way things were headed. Anyways, OP, I hope you do take this time to work on you and the baby and to repair that bond, which I'm sure will happen. You just need to give it time and you need to be constant. And regarding safety, if you can't move away or you can't change jobs, then at least get cameras or some way to get proof that if she comes by, you can allege stalking and maybe get a restraining order that way. Now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge, and it's by user paused5995. My neighbors pranked me and my roommates by stealing our furniture, so we let them keep the furniture. My next-door neighbors thought it would have been funny to steal all of our furniture out of our house. This was in college and we were friends with them, so it was all in good fun. There was no one home at the time, so they thought that they were so clever. I caught them when they took the last couch and my beanbag chair. I demanded my beanbag back, which I tackled someone for, because I wanted to go home and decompress from work. I didn't want to get all our furniture back in the house, and it was also nighttime. The next day, my roommates and I were trying to figure out how to get back at them. We were impressed by how much effort they put in to grab 4 couches, 3 coffee tables, dining table and chairs, etc. We then realized their house was small and it must have taken up all the open space. So, we decided to not do anything about it. We go over there after 2 days and they complain that they have to climb over the couches and tables to literally go anywhere in the house. There is no more walkable space in the house lol. They thought we couldn't wait them out, but they ended up yielding in the end. And that's it for today's video.